Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the campus of Rivier College in Nashua, New Hampshire, the scene of tonight's college basketball game between these two one-time intra-city rivals. It's the Daniel Webster College Eagles visiting the Nashua Raiders, the Rivier College Raiders of Nashua. I'm John Collins along with Tom King. It's the revival of an old rivalry that has gone to sleep, Tom.
Yeah, good point. It used to be intercity rivals. I mean, no, the colleges didn't move, but they haven't played each other in the regular season in almost 4 years. And that was because Daniel Webster left the Great Northeast Athletic Conference and moved to another conference. Rivier's schedule, non-conference, was set. At least that's the explanation they gave. And so they haven't played each other.
I wanted you to check out the pregame ritual of the visiting Daniel Webster College Eagles. Very interesting as they get into a circle with those family shirts.
But the circle's pretty. I mean, pros do that too, but that's pretty normal. The Rivs doing it too, John. See, but this is this is going to be a very, very competitive basketball game, John. Both teams, if you use common opponents as a barometer, they both played Fitchburg State. They both lost by 4 points. Daniel Webster looking for their first win of the year. Rivier 1-3. But John, the underlying theme in this game is that now they were finally able to schedule it, and they're going to keep it on the schedule as far as I know. But the underlying theme is there really isn't. The rivalry just needs another push. You know, you've got two schools that are about the same size, that are in the same city, that aren't that far away. I mean, Nashua's not a metropolis. And yet there's no real like, oh, we got Webster. There's no pep rally for this game or no build-up for this game or anything like that. And that's what college sports is supposed to be about. You know me, I'm always talking about, enthusiasm at games and how, rivalries are dead and not the same. This is a classic example of it.
Well, you told me there might not be a big crowd here.
It's not a bad crowd. I'm more than I thought would be here.
Fifth game of the season for these two teams both. They've struggled early as Daniel Webster has a series of 4 losses to begin the season, and 3 of the 4 losses were by a combined total of less than 10 points.
Yeah, their 4 losses are a total of 23 points. 1 by 4, 1 by 3, and another 1 by 3.
13 against Suffolk. That kind of skewed it.
And that was a conference game. They both played Fitchburg State. They both lost by 4 points to them. And Rivier, very young. This is a team that Dave Morris said is molded and has said we're going to get better as not just this season goes on, but as the next couple of years go on.
We are about to tap off here. We have Mike Janes on the handheld camera down on the court. We have Tim O'Neill up behind us. And Tom, a lot of underlying themes in this game. We've been moved to mid-court. Well, we have the best seats in the house.
We did last year's women's game at midcourt, too. You forget a lot of things.
That's right. You know what? I think we're actually a little bit even closer. Like, we're right on the edge of the court here.
Yeah, you're in charge of the possession hour. I forgot to tell you that.
Oh, boy. So it's Rivier to inbound here on the opposite side of the court from us.
Height advantage goes to Daniel Webster, but if you're Rivier, if you want to look at a play for Rivier, number 32, Tommy Poitras, the sophomore from Bow, he is going to be the main focus of what Rivier does on the floor. He leads them in scoring, 16.5 points a game. He's going to be the guy.
Cliff Celestin launched our first shot of the game for Rivier. It clanged off the rim from 3-point territory. The Eagles finding a seam and laying it up off the glass and in. Nice move to the basket, sensing that the lane was there behind him. Eric Suarez gets the Eagles on the board.
6'5", senior out of Brooklyn, and he looks it. And he went right around Poitras. Poitras just let him go right by him. Not a good sign for Riv defensively.
Suarez, Roosevelt High School in Brooklyn, New York. That sounds like a familiar basketball factory. Nice shot from downtown. It's a 3 to get Rivier on the board for the hometown team to cheer about, the hometown fans. Chris Foley from the right side. 3-2, Riv leads it, and Foley's the one who gets down to the floor and gets it after it was poked away by Will Snyder on the steal for Rivier. Snyder with it. Snyder at the top of the key, feeds Foley to the right side as Riv moves it around the perimeter. He played 20-minute halves in college basketball. It's an air ball. Nearly getting it back was Celestin. Now bringing it down court, putting the brakes on was Kevin Gates out to the top of the key. Suarez now in the hands of Hickson as he swings it out to near midcourt, calling a play was Keith Speed. There's a great name for a guard.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Speed has it from downtown. He throws it out top. It is a three, and it is good. Nice touch on that shot by Schindewolf.
And Schindewolf's got a good range. He's tall, he's lanky. He has a shooter's build.
Both teams have hit three-pointers now. Schindewolf from Robbinsville, New Jersey, with a three. For the team in red, the Daniel Webster College Eagles lead it 5-3.
Dave Morissette, this is his 14th year. He's been here a while. He has cemented himself here at Riv. But you may not be aware of it, but the Daniel Webster College head coach, Dave Fosher, the former Dartmouth College head coach from several years ago.
Three-point attempt from the left corner, finds the net. Beautiful shot there from the left side by number 23, Cliff Celestin, who's got himself 5 points so far tonight. Actually took the first shot, but 6'5".
The three-point shot at this level is huge. It's humongous in college basketball, especially at the lower level of Division III.
Right on cue, Tom King. Knocking it down was Dave Schindewolf, who has hit his second three of this first half. And it is the guests of the Daniel Webster here leading 8-6. Dribbling down the right side of the court was Hickson. He gives it up for Schindewolf, and he kicks it back outside. That's actually for Rivier, number 11 is Jake Nelson. Mixed up my 11s there. The shot from downtown, Tom Poitras, no good. Poitras.
They've got to get Poitras going.
A very key player for Riv in white. There's a step out by Rivier.
There's another key player who just had the ball and gave it back to the ref. Jake Nelson, the former Nashua guard.
Yes,
Nelson.
We've said his name a lot in high school, didn't we?
Yes, we have.
You mentioned the head coach of Daniel Webster, Dave Fosher. There's also a head coaching of the other team, David Morissette.
14 years on the job. This is Fosher's fourth year with Daniel Webster.
The Eagles moving it around for a good shot underneath, but it doesn't go. Sprinting the length of the court before he puts the brakes on.
See, John, you've got a kid like Poitras who's there. That penetration should never be allowed to happen.
Oh, the full Nelson misses from downtown. 16-20 left. Lots of basketball playing the first half. Oh, Schindewolf, he just likes to launch.
One difference in the makeup of these teams, and I think Dave Morissette's going to talk about defense in this, because Schindewolf launched an open shot. So I think this huddle is all going to be about defense with Daniel Webster 8-6. One difference between these teams, Daniel Webster's got 3 scorers in double figures, averaging double figures. Rivier only 1, and that's Poitras.
We have 3 officials, 3 referees for this game. One of them is about the height of our tall cameraman, Mike Janes. It's Matty Smith down underneath the basket.
All our cameramen are tall.
They are.
I'm tired of looking up at them all the time.
Our other 2 officials are Eddie Colin and Rich Napolitano, who are down underneath the other basket.
Yeah, three referees and college officials now in college basketball.
Mentioned that Daniel Webster coming into the game 0-4. Rivier is 1-3. They won the last game they played at New England College by 72-55. Earlier tonight, the Rivier College women's basketball team played host to Connecticut College, and it wasn't a great outcome for the hometown girls as they lost 71-50 to Connecticut College, who played some really sharp basketball in here tonight. 8-6, Daniel Webster leading. Rivier with a chance to tie it up. A nice poke of a near steal there by numeral 0, Kyle Watson. And Kyle, 0 in red, spells that Kyle very unusually, K-H-I-A-L.
3 red jerseys. See, 3 red jerseys around Poitras. He got a high percentage shot, and he kept after it, which was a good effort by Poitras. But at the same time, you had 3 red jerseys around him to take that high percentage shot and turn it into a miss.
And he draws a foul. Great work by Poitras underneath.
Jump ball.
Oh, was it a jump ball?
It was a jump ball.
The officials consulted about that. You know what? I think one of the officials called jump ball and the other one overruled it.
Overruled it with a foul?
Yeah.
Okay. That Poitras is going to go to the line.
One of the officials saw it.
It was definitely contact. I don't think there's any question about it.
They got together, they talked it over, and Poitras at the line hits the first.
Yeah, you get a big man like Poitras. A, he better be able to shoot free throws, and B, he better get to the line a lot.
Poitras 6'6" from Bow, New Hampshire hits them both, and we're tied all 8 all. 15:43 to go in the first half. John Collins with Tom King. Thank you for watching Nashua ETV. We are looking for a thrilling contest here. What a beautiful shot from the right corner by Daniel Webster's Darius Cosby. Darius Cosby is a sophomore from South Carolina. And he gives Daniel Webster a 3-point lead back. Terrific form the other way by number 23. Well, that was Darius Cosby the other way. Cliff Celestin hits it for Rivier. 23 and 23. That's, of course, a great basketball number. Michael Jordan's number. And the 23s have lit up the scoreboard. We're tied at 11 all. Set shot from the three-point area is no good.
John, I think back to the
off the glass and in.
Offensive foul or defensive foul? It's going to go against Rivier. Nelson draws the foul. Nelson charged with the foul. I believe.
Yep. Chance for the three-point play.
Good. John, you know, I remember Doc Rivers talking, I think it was last year, after his team was eliminated, and they asked him why. He said, you know, guys, he said, it's still a shooter's league. You know, and that never changes at any level. In college basketball, especially at this lower level, you're as good as you shoot. So you can tell me who's got the higher percentage when this game is over, and I'll tell you who the winner is.
Keith Speed completes the three-point play and gives his team a three-point lead, 14-11. You mentioned Doc Rivers, and in the NBA lockout, he was following his son around in college all over the place to Hawaii, and what a terrific player his son is. Speaking of a great shooter and a great all-around player. So Doc Rivers passing down the genes to probably another NBA star in the making. Travel,
yep. How many times we see that?
Yeah, that's Kyle Watson, the freshman from Michigan. A lot of recruiting going on nationwide for both of these teams. Is a very, very mixed bag from all over. It's a fun read on the roster. Oh, saw that bounce coming. Wanted to save the equipment.
John, I'm telling you, you always get the worst of it, you know?
I was ready for that. That was the shortstop instincts kicking in, Tom. I was ready to throw it to first, you know.
Yep, they've taken away the Coca-Cola sponsorship sign.
Yeah.
That got
Rich
knocked
Napolitano.
out. Yep.
You know, I probably shouldn't have grabbed the ball as early as I did, because that was a great effort, I think, by Kyle Watson to come over here and try to grab it.
Kyle just wanted to get on camera.
He certainly did.
No, he got on the camera.
He almost got on our audio equipment, which would have been bad.
It's good thing I don't have a computer set up.
Where are we? 14-11 still, after that bit of excitement.
Well, as long as you don't have to see the trainer, we're going to be okay.
He moved the whole stand. I got my feet out of the way.
He did move the whole stands.
This thing is used for selling lemonade in the summertime, by the way. In the corner, Rivier trying to work a tying basket, perhaps, if they can hit from downtown. They trailed by 3. A lot of time left in the first half. 13:45 left. There's the shot from three-point territory. What a terrific arc. And we had the perfect line on that one, Tom.
Garen Whitney, the junior from Dover.
That almost hit the rafter. Garen, G-A-R-O-N, the first name. A rainbow of a 3 to tie it at 14.
Again, you know, it's a shooter's game.
Deflected pass. Nice steal there by Nick Walsh.
What do you think of the pace, John? As I told you before the game started.
It's blinding. I mean, it's up and down.
It really, I mean, we've done women's games the last couple of years. It's a little slower.
And, you know, they're getting fresh legs on the floor. It's like an NHL shift change.
How many times have we done a few games where one team maybe look like they don't have the depth, and you look at the bench?
A lot of games.
A lot of games, right. But
this isn't one of them.
This isn't one of them. This is pretty even.
And they're shuttling in these fresh legs, and these guys can play. As you can see, 14 all. This is going to be a battle. You can tell here early. I mean, there's nobody who isn't hustling 100% on the court right now. There is a long pass, and it is stolen away. Coming down court was Manny Smith on the steal, number 5. Feeds it into the corner. Nick Walsh has it poked away. Keith Speed coming down court. Speed pulls up and throws it to the left corner. Back to him. Playing catch with Dave Schindewolf. Now out to Suarez. Suarez hands it off to Darius Cosby. Suarez gets it back, and he's going to shoot it from inside the three-point arc. It doesn't go. 14 all still. Now Rivier with a chance to take the lead.
Now, if you're that close inside the arc, you probably as well just step back and launch the three.
Right. Bounce pass. Rivier with it. Posting up Poitras, kicks it back out, thinking about it.
Well, now Poitras goes down low, but he's got a red shirt all around him. Anytime he goes down there, he's going to be surrounded by the color red.
Manny Smith passes it to the corner.
It's pretty easy, John. When you look at the stat sheet and you see only one player in double figures, that's the guy you got to key on.
Nick Walsh's three-point attempt was long. Keith Speed feeds Justin Lewandowski. Now Speed with a turnaround jumper, misses the rim. And standing right there to get it.
We've got a fan walking right on the court, jumping up and down, leading cheers, and Joanne Merrill's going to come out and say, okay, don't step on the court now.
A little bit too fanatic there for the Joanne.
But it's good to see. It's good to see. I mean, you need that a little bit. This is a small gym, but it's a loud gym.
And it's going to get louder, prompted by the fine hustle on the court. We're seeing some ferocious defensive play here early. Scoring has slowed down in the last minute or so. 14 all. Rivier trying to find that open shot, and there is an open shot. Can't knock it down though, as Mike Pauley had a good look. Keith Speed nearly has it stolen away, and there's a, let's see, jump ball? Or is it a timeout call by Rivier?
Very quickly decision, timeout.
I think it was Brian Troy, number 3, the senior guard from Westmoreland, New Hampshire, that stole that ball and thought of calling a timeout before he could either A, go out of bounds, or B, get trapped for a jump ball. So a heads-up play, Rivier's possession. They will inbound it near their own bench. 11:07 to go, first half. 14-14 is the score. John Collins with Tom King, our camera crew. Tim O'Neill and Mike James. A handheld down on the court. Tim's up behind us. Rivier is in the white with the blue trim, hosting this game, and the Eagles visiting from not very far away at all. A couple of exits up the highway.
That's why it made sense. It makes no sense not to play this game.
First game in 4 years between these two teams, correct?
First regular season game in 4 years. They played in an ECAC semifinal game back in, I believe, the 08 in 2009, winter of 2009, almost 3 years ago.
This is played at a much faster pace than the Holiday Stroll, the signature event of this season in Nashua. There are some three-point shooters on the court, and we are expecting some bombs to be launched from Railroad Square. That one nearly was, but it was deflected. A nice defensive play, a good non-call, I think, as going up and making the stop was Garen Whitney, who now has the basketball. Deflecting the shot by Schindewolf, who can hit from there easily and never got the shot away. 10-10 left in the first half. We've stalled out here at 14-14. The pace is still there. Trying to slow it down a bit. Manny Smith, number 5, feeds it to Brian Troy. Troy cross court to Walsh, launches off the front of the rim. Lewandowski, Justin with it. Kicks it into the corner as John Hickson gives it up. Now Schindewolf. Keith Speed's going to back it out. Bounce pass Suarez, swinging around at the top of the key. Taking a body check as he throws it through the hoop.
It gets physical.
John Hickson.
It will get physical. This pace is fast, but in the first half, it will get much more physical than it is in the second half, because the second half, they're tired.
Hickson, a 6'2" forward from Springfield. Got hit like he was Gronkowski going across the middle there, but it still managed to shoot the ball true through the basket. 17-14. Daniel Webster trying to add to their lead, and they do. 18-14. I do believe that's the biggest lead of the night. Only 4 points separating the host Rivier Raiders with the ball now from the Daniel Webster College Eagles as Rivier swings the ball around the perimeter. John Hickson holds it above his head into Poitras. Almost has it slapped away, but gets it down into the corner.
It's a big basket and the foul.
Terrific job.
See, that's what Poitras can do for you. He can stem the tide a little bit because he can slow the game down when it needs to be slowed down, and you go inside and try for the three-point play. A big man like that does several things for your basketball team. He can take another player out of the game with foul trouble, but he can also slow the game down if you feel it needs to be slowed down, and that's what Riv needed to do there.
Free throw doesn't go, so Daniel Webster still leading 18-16 with the basketball. As they swing it around, Lewandowski gets it over to Hickson. Hickson tries to find Suarez, but it's stolen. Jake Nelson of Nashua bringing it down court. Lightning speed lays it in.
Nelson very quick, left-handed layup, and we may have a technical foul. I think we're going to get a technical call from his reaction. It's going to be on Darren Whitney. Whitney must have said something after Nelson's layup to one of the Eagles. Referee caught wind of it and called the technical.
You were right on it, Tom, as it looked like the timeout signal, but it was not a timeout signal.
No, it was a technical foul. And so shooting, it's going to be John Hickson.
You know, it was ill-timed. You just tied the game up with a brilliant offensive run after the steal by Nelson.
Hickson, by the way, comes in averaging 18.3 points a game, but he's not doing it from the line there. You miss a technical foul. That's a gift. You don't want to give that back. He just gave half of that back.
Right.
Got to make those if you're Daniel Webster.
They make one. That's 19-18.
Again, another graduate of the John Collins School of Free Throw Shooting.
I've been practicing, by the way.
Have you really? Good.
I'm thinking I'm a 50% shooter.
We got to get a contest. We got to get a contest going between the two of us. See if we can do it. I haven't shot a basketball in years.
Keep speed to Suarez. Open shot for speed.
Bang. Oh, in and out. Look at Nelson, though, get up for the rebound.
Wow.
Look at that speed.
Foul.
This level of ball was made for Jake Nelson.
Yeah.
But out of control, there's a difference between having the speed and being out of control. But Nelson draws the foul and go to the line.
There are a lot of people on this earth that could not run that fast without a basketball.
And I'm one of them.
Without dribbling it while they run. And Nelson hits the first of two.
Nelson always was a very good athlete. I think he played football too. Always been a good athlete. Nashua South kid.
Oh, that's a half Nelson. 1 point out of 2 there on the free throws. 8:20 to go in the first half. 19-19.
Deadlocked at 19. This is going to be a very intense second half when they get to it.
Schindewolf gets rid of it before it almost gets blocked by Snyder.
And look who got up there and
out-jumped
Suarez, who's 6'5". Nelson, who's 5'11". Nelson goes up and grabs the rebound away. If I'm Dave Fosher, I am not happy about that.
Daniel Webster trying to find the open shooter in a 19-19 game. Nelson gets it inside to Poitras. No-look pass to the cutting 31. That's Chris Foley with the basket. 21-19.
Foley with the hoop, but Nelson started the play. Nelson, the big factor in that play. He gets the rebound on one end, comes down, makes the pass inside to start the play at the other end.
I credit Poitras, too, for knowing exactly what he wanted to do with it.
That's got Jake Nelson's signature all over it. The more times he's got the basketball in his hands, I think the better off Rivier is.
Hickson wide open, and he doesn't miss the three.
Not that time.
22-21. That propels Daniel Webster back on top by a point. With 7:08 left in the first half. Right in front of us, Cliff Celestine, the junior guard from Boston. Number 23 gets underneath Poitras off the glass and in.
Another attempt for Poitras to go to the line and another foul.
Tom Poitras, 6'6" from Bow. He will be a pane under the window pane for the Eagles tonight, the biggest player on the court.
Let's see who they put that foul. They're posting foul. That foul is going to be on Darius Cosby. That's his second.
Has a chance.
Cosby's listed as Columbia, South Carolina. That's where he's from originally, or when he was recruited. Now his family lives in my hometown, Albany, New York.
Keith Speed dribbles it, bounces it. Suarez knows what he wants to do with it.
I'll tell you what, how did that matchup occur? Suarez goes in, and who's there gets there defensively to try to stop him? Nelson.
Mismatch, size-wise.
But Nelson got up there.
Suarez has gotten 2 baskets like that. He favors that going to his left with his back to the basket.
Let's see, Nelson's doing so much at both ends that when he takes a long jumper like that, his legs are gonna start to affect him.
Will Snyder, there you saw number 21 go by the camera. I think he was fouled as he went to the basket. It was before the shot, though, so it'll just be an inbound situation for Rivier. Trailing by a point, 24-23, but with the basketball and chance to retake the lead. Calling out a play is Snyder, and he is being bothered by Justin Lewandowski, number 1. Swings it. Foley gets it into Poitras, off his hands and out of bounds. It's the Eagles' ball.
Kind of slows the pace down a little bit. Off the miss, off the turnover.
The Eagles working it. Suarez finds himself alone. He takes it. Front rims it. Speed with a speedy rebound.
They want to get Hickson here, I think. Hickson wants the 3 from the corner, but evidently we got a timeout. Dave Fosher wants to see them set up a play, so he calls, I believe, a 30-second timeout.
Dave Fosher in his 4th season as the head coach of the Daniel Webster College Eagles. His assistant over there, or his assistants, I should say, there's 2 very vocal assistants, Chris Dorsey and Jimmy Oakman. On the Rivier College side, the assistant coach is Chris Giordano in his 1st season. I want to say thanks to our always gracious host, athletic director Joanne Merrill of Rivier College.
The best.
Also,
the best.
One of the best sports information guys that we encounter in all of our broadcasts, Ken Belbin.
Another best, yep.
For Daniel Webster College. 5:48 to go in the first half, 24-23. The game is actually closer than the score indicates. We don't know who is going to win this. Tom was asked by one of the fans before the game, so which way is it going to go? And he said it could go either way, and to this point, he's exactly right. It's a seesaw battle played at top speed and a heated pace, and we expect that to continue here on Nashua TV. We're into December, which means later in the month, the high school holiday basketball tournament and the Conway Arena hockey tournament, which we are very much looking forward to bringing you some of those games. We're at Rivier College in Nashua, where parking was at a premium in the lot today. And you know,
it's the one thing both schools need to expand. They're going to expand their programs, or at least upgrade their programs in the facilities. They need to get some parking.
I noted that
difficult, very hard to find around here.
The well-known journalist Jackie McMullen said hi to Tom King, and they talked shop here before the game. I wanted to ask you why she was here. Suarez off the glass and in.
Her daughter plays for Connecticut College.
There's the answer.
Who played Rivier's women's team early on.
And won 71-50.
Before this game. Now, that's the next thing they need to do is schedule a doubleheader. Women's game, men's game.
Daniel Webster, you mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Daniel Webster and Riv. Try to see if they can organize this so they can play a doubleheader. Have the women's game and then the men's game.
Stepping up to take the jumper, no good by Nelson, and it is going to be Daniel Webster with a chance to expand on their three-point lead.
This is a doubleheader game, but the Daniel Webster women and Riv women don't play each other until January 5th. Offensive foul.
You know, that was Suarez's favorite move, and getting in the lane. Garen Whitney got fouled.
And that's going to take Suarez out of the game. That's his first personal, according to the board, but Dave Fosher wants to get him out.
Credit Whitney with anticipation that time. Suarez had done that same move successfully twice, but not that time, as Whitney was there and he got the benefit of the call. Trotting it down court is Will Snyder, the senior guard from Old Bridge, New Jersey. Rivier loses it out of bounds. And Speed will walk it up court at slow speed once again. 26-23. The Eagles enjoy a 3-point lead for the moment with 4:40 remaining in the first half. Nice split of a seam there off the glass and no good. Into the game is Aiden Collins for Daniel Webster.
Sophomore out of Patterson, New Jersey. Just lacks a little bit of finish, as you see. You can elevate, but just needs a little bit more polish on his inside game.
Nelson got called for a technical for going up with a phantom jam, Tom.
That's 2 T's on Riv. They're giving points away.
Yeah. I gotta say, that's pretty impressive jumping ability by Nelson.
Taunting from the crowd on the Daniel. The Daniel Webster side is located to our right, and the Rivier side is located to our left. The bleachers are all behind us, where John and I are sitting at center court.
When you and I lose our temper, Tom, that's not an option.
And see, Hickson does it again. He misses a technical free throw because he rushes it and doesn't bend his knees. Boy, I hate his free throw style.
You know, no matter how frustrating a day I have, and no matter how much I want to just go up and slam the rim like that, it's just not an option these days anymore.
Nope. But now the Eagles have opened up a 4-point lead.
By virtue of a couple of technicals mixed into that 27 points that they've scored. One was against Garen Whitney, the other against Jake Nelson. Pulling up is Hickson, and it's off the front of the rim, but he gets his own rebound. Back out to the near half court. Justin Lewandowski going to work to the right side, throws it wildly up off the glass and in. Somehow, Justin Lewandowski gets it to go.
He can elevate, can he? Are you surprised at the athleticism of both teams?
You know, not. I mean, you took a look at them in warm-ups, and everybody looks like a gazelle or a cheetah.
But are you surprised at that when you came in and saw them warming up?
Yeah.
Right. Now, see, that's the thing. I don't think this community knows what it has with the basketball programs at both schools. I really don't.
I have to say, I've never seen either school with so much team speed. You know, for the years we've been doing it, I think they've really taken it to another level. As Mike James takes one off the camera lens. That's what you call getting close to the action.
They're killing us here tonight.
He got jolted.
Killing us as Daniel Webster now opens up a 6-point lead. This is a big possession for Rivier.
Mike might have to see the cut man in the corner. The HBO cut man after that. That eyepiece went right back to him.
That's what happens to you.
Margarito and Cotto.
You needed the cut man a couple of years ago for volleyball. You'll never live that down. Volleyball.
I put my hand in between the microphone and the volleyball, and it caught a sharp edge, protecting the Nashua ETV equipment.
Taking one for the team.
It's the biggest lead of the evening so far for Daniel Webster, 29-23, but they weren't able to expand on it, and now Rivier has a chance to make a game of it again, or a closer game of it again. Hampered by a couple of technicals here in the first half.
Looks like it's a little mix of a 2-3 zone with a little man-to-man mixed in.
Stepping around the double team to throw the pass was Chris Foley, and he gets it to his teammate, who goes off the glass and in.
Yeah, Hickson was the rover in the zone, and he came over and stood his ground, but didn't get close enough, didn't elevate, and that allowed the basket.
Was that Cliff Aquino, number 24, that got it?
That was yes, it was. That was a big hoop for Rivier. They needed to stem the tide.
Cliff, newly in the game, was able to get on the scoreboard, and it's now a 4-point lead for Daniel Webster with the basketball, and just under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Wide open three-pointer is no good by Hickson. And now Rivier trying to cut the lead to 2 or less. Aquino, baseline, good.
Oh, what a spark. 4 points off the bench for Aquino. And now we get a 2-point game.
The freshman from Connecticut hits a couple in a row, 29-27, as Speed goes with the between-the-legs dribble and gives it to Hickson. Schindewolf, bounce pass, top of the key. Aiden Collins, bounce pass, Schindewolf, the other side was able to come.
Great move along the baseline.
Underneath, up and in. 31-27, back to a 4-point lead for Daniel Webster. Another terrific athletic move by these two teams. That was by Schindewolf off the basket, and that is going to be a foul against, let's see, there's a
call that he didn't elevate and touch the ball what was on the rim. They're going to call foul.
Against
Keith. He pushed off,
Yeah, I guess he was boxed out and he pushed off to get the rebound.
Right.
So, chance.
1:57 left to go in the first half. It's 31-27 in favor of the Daniel Webster College Eagles.
Cliff Celestin is at the line, number 23 for Riv. Discussion over one of the coaches for the Eagles getting an explanation there. And
well, that's Dave Focia, the head coach.
Dave, yeah, and he didn't like what he heard.
No, he certainly didn't.
3 Eagles come in and 3 Eagles go out. Into the game comes Kevin Gates, sophomore guard from Chicago, Illinois, number 3, among the substitutions for the Eagles. Trying to make it a 2-point game here is Celestin. The Tom King recommended knee bend pays off, and it's a 31-29.
Bend those knees when you're at the line. Get more elevation on the free throw.
Gates.
He pushed off and he got away with it. And then he's called for a travel as he spun too many times.
Rufus Loof is called for the travel, number 14, the forward, 6'3" from Salem, Massachusetts. Getting a play call from his bench, Manny Smith passes it up ahead to Garen Whitney. Now in the hands of Manny Smith again. Cliff Aquino over to Whitney, far right corner. Foley back out to Aquino has it. Foley bobbled it for a second. Whitney. Celestin, good ball movement. Now an open shot. Aquino, 3-pointer, no good. Off the back rim. Great job of crashing the boards by Whitney. But he can't keep possession. Yes.
I think they ought to isolate Whitney. Whitney's very fluid. He's fast moving.
And 6'6".
I think if they can get him the ball inside with Poitras out of the game, I think that's what they ought to try to do rather than go way downtown. 2 shots from the corner now for Aquino, and he's missed them both badly.
Nearing the 1-minute mark of the first half. 1 minute to go, that is.
And only a 2-point game.
In favor of the Eagles, who have the ball. Loof. Corner. No good. The long shot there attempted by Lewandowski. Whistle underneath. Goes against the Eagles. Offensive foul. On the rebound.
Traveling on the
was it travel?
It was a travel.
Again against Loof?
Yep, which I was surprised at that call because it certainly seemed as though there was a jump ball, possibly a chance for a jump ball there.
Whitney trying to go to work. Blocking foul. Whitney seems to be a bit shaken up. Lewandowski, who took the blow, gets right up off the floor, claiming that he had completely established position. And our official, Eddie Colon, disagrees. Eddie Cologne, excuse me, with the call. That'll put Rivier at the line with a chance to tie this game, Tom, with 2 free throws with 47 seconds left in the half. It's Whitney. We'll see his free throw shooting ability here. Nice noise in this gym right now.
This is a loud gym, always has been. You get 50 people in here, it sounds like 500, but you've got a couple hundred in here already.
These players are giving these fans every reason to be loud and be into this game.
I'll tell you who's into this game is the crowd from Daniel Webster. They brought a good crowd over here. I think they were anxious for this game. They're the ones who have been ignored for 4 years. I think they were very anxious to play this game.
Well, they're being heard now.
They sure are.
31-30 with 47 seconds left in the first half. The Eagles with that narrow 1-point lead as Lewandowski bounces it down court. Schindewolf to Loof. Hickson. Lewandowski being bothered there by Chris Foley. Foley working on Lewandowski. Driving baseline, pulling up is Schindewolf. Now with the open.
Oh my!
Lewandowski hits it. It's 34-30. It was a 3.
5 points, and those are 5 big points that he's got.
Celestine, 15 seconds to go. Cliff gives it up to Whitney from downtown. A long rainbow front rims it.
They've got time to get one more.
5 seconds. 4.
They've got to get the shot off now.
The shot is no
Short.
good, and there's the buzzer to end the first half. A furious first half of basketball at Rivier College in Nashua, New Hampshire. The score after 20 minutes of play is the Daniel Webster College Eagles 34 and the Rivier College Raiders 30.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Yes, in many ways. Watching and getting out of the way here of our announcer table at midcourt. John Collins with Tom King, our camera crew Tim O'Neill and Mike James. We'll be back with you for that exciting second half of play between these two intracity rivals right after this break.
You know, some snacks are a lot of trouble. I wish it were easier.
Snacks with edible wrappers would be a much better idea. What about fruits and vegetables?
Just wash and eat. Blueberries, pears, and tomatoes. How fast and easy was that? Join me next time when we'll learn the secrets of making a salad.
I want to applaud for that. That's the Rivier College girls dance team, women's dance team.
No question.
John Collins at midcourt with Ken Belbin, the assistant athletic director in charge of sports information for Daniel Webster College. And you're the best in your business, by the way, Ken. The stats and the information.
Tell that to the people who pay me. That would be terrific.
Well, I say that to my employees.
That's for the record, folks.
Too, but hey, yeah, I wanted to be on TV. So, what's new with Daniel Webster? A lot of new faces because that's the nature of college. You have new. That's probably the most exciting part of your job, right?
It's terrific. You know, I've been doing this 16 years, 6 years here at Daniel Webster, and the favorite part of the job is the interaction with the students. And not just the student athletes, but across the entire spectrum. Keeps you young. I mean, you watch what just happened out on that court, and it's like, how would I know that song unless I was surrounded by kids who were playing that stuff constantly during practices and games and that type of thing.
You know, one of the conversations we had before the game, Ken, you mentioned the recruiting efforts to bring in these players from all over the map.
Right.
Who's bringing them in, and where are they coming from?
Well, first of all, I mean, one of the things that's been really great with our men's basketball program, Dave Fosher and Chris Dorsey, our coaches, have done a terrific job of expanding, our recruiting goals and, kind of the recruiting areas. I mean, we got kids from the Midwest, a level that we've never had. If you go back, 5 years or 10 years ago, we were so New England based. And that's no disrespect to New England basketball, but there's so many schools around here as it is that it's been great to diversify a little bit. We've got kids from Michigan. We got a kid from Ohio. Darius Cosby grew up in upstate New York, but he lived in Columbia, South Carolina for a number of years as well. So we're expanding that footprint. We're down in New Jersey a lot more, New York a lot more. And what's been great is that a lot of students out there are finding that Daniel Webster is a great place to come, especially if they want to come up north for 4 years or so and play a good level of basketball, as you're seeing tonight. One of the things that we're so excited about, you were talking about what else is new, is Rivier College back on the schedule. I mean, that's been a terrific part. We're so excited about that as well.
During the broadcast, we remarked on what a great bunch of fans you brought over here, and they're making their presence known during the first half, where it's a one-point game at the half. A terrific back-and-forth battle. One of Tom's comments was that the Daniel Webster side of the fan base here, they feel like they got maybe the worst of the separation for the 4 years. They feel like they've been ignored a little bit, or anything to that?
I think what happened initially was, I mean, first of all, we have a terrific relationship with Joanne Merrill and her staff here at Rivier College. We help them, they help us. They have a turf field, we have a baseball field. They have something we don't have. And so they've been terrific through the years. We've helped them, they've helped us. And there's a mutual respect between the two schools because we see each other locally. We're all involved in the community and whatnot. Unfortunately, the way the schedule had worked when we left the Great Northeast Athletic Conference, moving into the New England Collegiate Conference, unfortunately the schedule wasn't allowing us to really get together the way that we had traditionally. So one of the things that, was, I think, a priority from Coach Morissette and from Coach Fosher's standpoint was to get the two schools back together and renew some of that basketball rivalry, particularly on the men's side. The women, it was a little bit easier, but it's also because in the GNAC, I don't know if people know this, but the GNAC women only play once during the regular season. In the NECC, we play a double round robin during the regular season. So it hurt our opportunities, to continue to face each other. But at the same time, both schools are very excited that we're back on the court where we belong. It's the oldest rivalry for Daniel Webster basketball across all spectrums. This is the 37th all-time meeting going back to 1992.
And you provided the statistics on it. I think it's 26-10.
26-10. I mean, we haven't done as well as we'd like to review, but it never changes the fact that the rivalry between the two schools, sure, I think it could be a little bit more, but you're talking about two very, very small campuses. We're 650 students. I think Rivier's maybe about 900 or so. So when that happens, and the perception, I think, sometimes of Division III in the local community, I think if people come out, they'll realize it's a terrific brand of ball. You're going to find the same passion that you're going to find up the road at St. Anselm or Franklin Pierce or Southern New Hampshire, UNH or Dartmouth. But we're so excited to have that again. And one thing that hasn't changed is the traditional rivalry we've had with the schools, with soccer and softball and baseball and, even cross country, a little bit of that type of thing, volleyball. So, it's a healthy relationship that we continue to have with the schools, and it's one that we expect to continue to go on for forever.
I every time I come here, it seems like you bring us a good game. or a violent incident, like when the ball comes up on the thing.
Well, and you know what's funny is, I mean, even in the years, you know, if you look at the rivalry that goes back, we haven't played in 2 years. The last time that Daniel Webster and Rivier played was in the ECAC New England semifinals over at Daniel Webster, and that was in March of '09. So we lost them for the last couple of years. And the atmosphere traditionally between the two schools has always been a playoff atmosphere. And even when maybe we're having a down year in a particular sport or they're having a down year in a particular sport, it doesn't matter, because the one team that's coming in with a good record and maybe the one that's not so good, once that game gets going, whether it's field hockey, lacrosse, baseball, basketball, whatever, you watch both teams bring their A game. And that is the mark of what I think is becoming a good little rivalry.
What's your other sport that's going on, or sports that are going on?
Well, we've got women's basketball going on as well. You know, we're off to a 2-1 start over there right now. I think that we're going to be fine this year as well. We're the defending league champion in the New England Collegiate Conference. We're coming off our first NCAA appearance. So, you know, we expect to be challenging once again. And our men's ice hockey team, which is at the club level, you know, we play a non-NCAA schedule, but you know, they've got a winning record as well, so we've been doing all right. And then we're looking forward to a solid spring. We've just brought in a brand new softball coach. We'll be hiring a new field hockey women's lacrosse coach very soon. And, you know, things are continuing to progress moving forward. We've made some improvements in our gymnasium. We're making some improvements to the campus. Just opened a brand new dorm this year as well. So there's been a lot of fun things and good things going on over at Daniel Webster College.
Ken, I know you're going to enjoy the second half of basketball as well.
Well, I hope the fans are too. And you know, one of the things that we think is so terrific is, you know, with ETV out of Nashua, this is a great opportunity for the local folks in the Nashua region to have exposure to the local college teams. And as much as we enjoy you sitting at home maybe right now and watching this game, we sure as heck would more than anything love to see you right here in these stands. So come on down, try it out. I think once you see it, you'll be coming back regularly.
The public is welcome, right? And we can't cover every game, so there's going to be some great basketball. The only way you can see it is to come down to either Daniel Webster or Rivier College.
Yeah. Two great little schools, great little athletic programs, and like I said, the quality of play that you'll see over here is comparable as anything you'll see out there. So,
Ken, thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And I believe that we're going to be working on bringing the women's game on January 5th. Rivier and Daniel Webster. That'll be over at Badger Gymnasium as well. So we'll look forward to having you guys back over again. That's Ken Belvin, the Assistant Athletic Director in charge of sports information at Daniel Webster College. Second half action coming right up.
Cotton balls. Duct tape. Spoon. Needle. Thread. Scalpel.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back, everybody, to the waning seconds of halftime. We're about to get going. Second half action. John Collins, Tom King, a very exciting game. I said it was a one-point game at the half, but that was just my...
34-30 in favor of Daniel Webster. Let's run down the scoring.
It just felt like a one-point game.
Run down the scoring to John Hickson, and nobody's surprised. He's the leading scorer for Daniel Webster. He's got 9 points, followed up by 8 by Dave Schindewolf. Leading rebounder in this basketball game for Daniel Webster is going to be Eric Suarez. For Rivier, they have, with 8 points, leading them in scoring is going to be Cliff Celestin. We saw him hit a big 3 earlier. And Tom Poitras has 6. Leading rebounder for the Raiders is, to no one else's surprise, again, Tom Poitras, but he only has 3. Interestingly enough, from percentage-wise, Rivier 10 of 29 from the floor overall, and Daniel Webster 12 of 27. But Daniel Webster is 6 of 14 from three-point land, which is really the difference in this game.
Thank you for that scoring summary, Tom. And we're underway in the second half as Daniel Webster takes possession and the first shot of our second half of 20 minutes of basketball to conclude this one.
Don't waste much time, do they?
Not at all. Nelson flying through the air, gets blocked, and the foul will go against
Suarez.
Daniel Webster.
Suarez looked like he had position. He's thinking he should have gotten an offensive, there should have been a charge called. And he's going to get nailed with his second foul, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's going to be number 2 on Mr. Suarez.
Nelson's sneakers are mesmerizing. The top there, I've never seen those kind before. So
Yeah, but we've got the green sneakers over here, the glow-in-the-dark green.
all down the bottom.
Fluorescent green.
Celestine, yep.
Yep.
I guess there's no team-issued sneakers on this side of the
Must do
Rivier.
the job. Celestine leads on with 8 points.
Behind the back save there by Hickson.
When are we going to get team-issued sneakers?
I'm going with the black Reeboks.
Is that what you want, the black Reeboks?
Yeah. 34-30. Daniel Webster entering the second half with the lead. That's the score.
We need to know what the official ETV colors are.
I guess that's something to be determined by our executive producer, Pete Johnson. Rivier trying to get their first points of the second half. Stolen away by Keith Speed. He picked Poitras's pocket. Speed coming down court. There's a quick pass to Suarez.
Ah, what a move. Great pass, Hickson to Suarez. The play started by Speed, the aptly named Keith Speed.
So it's a 6-point lead for Riv. 36-30. Bounce pass, Poitras splits 2 defenders and gets fouled.
Now you can see where Dave Morissette is frustrated with his team this year and seeing that they're a work in progress with a lot of young players. They don't have any continuity or any fluidity to them. They're helter-skelter, making young mistakes, making turnovers, defensive mistakes, and they need a little bit of leadership on the floor. That's what Nelson's trying to provide them. But they lack that floor general.
Poitras, who had struggled at the line a bit in the first half, hits the first free throw here in the second half. Misses the second. Nelson, heads-up play, saw that it had ticked or the Eagles don't think so, but it went off of a red-shirted player, and it is a inbounds play for Rivier, trailing by 5 after the free throw. Perimeter passing. Nelson flings it around the perimeter. It goes. Celestine driving, stops, pops, and misses. Follows his own rebound and gets it back up top. Will Snyder with it. Knifing through, and Foley can't get it to go. Rebound.
All right, nice rebound. Good elevation by Schindewolf. Dave Fosher went to all areas to recruit. He did a nice job.
3-point attempt by Hickson is short. Will Snyder picks it up off the court.
Schindewolf's out of Robbinsville, New Jersey. Don't forget, John, the focus changes now for Dan Webster because of the new ownership. They're not an aviation school anymore.
Right.
So that opens a lot of possibilities for them athletically.
Out of bounds.
More so than in the past.
Off of Rivier. And the Eagles will inbound. Daniel Webster College Eagles wearing the red uniforms, and the host Rivier College Raiders in white. Rivier trailing 36-31 on defense here. 5-point lead on offense, trying to add to it. The turnaround jumper by Schindewolf is no good. And apparently went out of bounds off of Rivier. So Eagles get a second chance to expand on their 5-point lead. Our 3 officials for tonight's game. Holding the ball right now is Eddie Colon. Our taller official to our left is Matty Smith, and then there's Rich Napolitano.
Yeah, Matty Smith's doing a great job of boxing us out.
Keith Speed with it. Near his own bench. Going one-on-one with Snyder, and Speed goes in and out.
That's tough. Daniel Webster, if they lose this game, they're going to look at this little period early in the second half where they weren't able to expand their lead.
Nelson, what elevation, but he doesn't get it to go. Rebound on the spot.
There's Nelson again, and he nails it.
Nice follow for the 3.
See, that's big. The fact that Daniel Webster has not been able to expand this lead. They've had numerous possessions over their last 3 trips down the floor where they could have an 8 or 9 point lead now. Instead, it's just 2.
Instead, they are that miss away from possibly surrendering a tie. Kicking it back to Nelson for 3. In and out.
Would have given Riv the lead. It would have brought the house down.
Sure would have. Keith Speed with it. 2-point lead for the Eagles.
Although I tell you what, if I'm the Rivier College
Open for Suarez.
Oh, and Suarez just turns and nails it. Poitras did not go. Poitras needs to be a better defensive player in my mind. Got to get up on Suarez there. He's not going to drive past you. You've got to get up on him, not allow him to take that shot.
Trying to elbow his way through the crowd.
Well, I'll tell you what, the crowd on the Rivier side is diminished. Where are the Rivier kids? Where'd they all go? They've left. Maybe they went out at halftime, haven't come back yet.
Bobby V press conference?
No, I doubt it. Danny Webster brought the house. They brought the student body with them.
Keith Speed.
This is not a home court advantage right now for Rivier.
No, and the loudest fans in the gym.
Where are the chants? Where are, the whole, come on, let's get going here. It's a college basketball game.
Hey, the catch and second win, that was a tough first half for the fans. They were into it. Now we need the players to rev it up like they did in the first half. Will Snyder swings it over here near side to Nick Walsh. Poitras in traffic. Turned it over apparently. Double dribble, they called it. Justin Lewandowski inbounds it to Keith Speed, and the Daniel Webster guards bring it down court. Darius Cosby is number 23, 21 Hickson, and number 1 Lewandowski. Speed's going to launch from three-point territory, misses off the glass. Poitras rebound. Walsh back to Snyder. Rivier trying to set up a play. Trailing.
Speed's a little tired.
Yeah, he's played a lot of minutes.
Yeah, he has.
But he makes the steal. He finds a second win, but stealing it back.
He's going to get called for foul pretty soon. Yep, and there it is.
You saw that coming.
I saw that coming. He was all over him. Eventually he was going to get called for the foul.
An A+ for effort for Keith Speed. Unfortunately for him, he overdid it there and got called for the foul. 15 minutes even left to go in the second half.
And that's number 3 on Keith Speed. They're going to have to get him out of the game.
The scoring pace has
because they need him.
Been slow since the second half began. Poitras, nice feed inside. Terrific feed from Jake Nelson.
Needs to make himself heard. He's a young player, but this is a chance for him to shine. He's got to take over this game at some point if Rivier is going to win it.
Cuts the lead to 2. Lewandowski launches. No good. Poitras crashing the board for a defensive rebound.
The pace has now become Rivier's, and Nelson drives.
Beautiful.
Unbelievable. Now Dave Foster says
high-speed drive by Jake Nelson of Nashua in his hometown.
See, the only one playing defense on the floor for Dave Webster is Keith Speed.
Yes.
And they have to up it.
Nelson was fast in high school. He's something else.
I'll tell you, he's something else. I believe he went to Becker College right off the shoot to play basketball. Didn't like the situation there and transferred and came in last year to Rivier midway through the year.
Where is Becker?
Becker's in the Worcester area.
14:27 to go in the second half, and we're tied at 38 because of that brilliant drive to the basket by Jake Nelson to tie it up. Powwows for both teams right now. The head coach of Rivier College, the white jerseys, Dave Morissette. The red jerseys, as you can see from Mike James' handheld camera down on the court, Dave Fosher has his team all huddled up, wearing the family sweatshirts that they warm up in before the game, fostering that team feeling. Justin Lewandowski, the senior guard from Bordentown, New Jersey, will inbound it to Keith Speed, who hails from Columbus, Ohio. Speed to Lewandowski, gets it in the corner. Long shot is a good one by number 23, Darius Cosby.
Just like that. And now Eagles open up a 3-point lead.
Thanks to the Cosby show. Oh, it's Poitras. Had a nice look at the basket. He's a little frustrated he didn't get that to go, but he did get fouled. Thomas Poitras The 6'6" forward from Bow, New Hampshire. In the first 4 games, played 124 minutes. So, you know, it's a 40-minute game in college basketball. There was one overtime game I believe they were involved in. But that's a lot of minutes. And he's racking them up here again. I think it's 31 minutes average a game for Poitras. And he cuts the lead to 1. Tom Poitras at the free throw line, 41-40. The visitors from Daniel Webster leading by a point as they bring it down court.
See how important speed is to this team? He's got 3 fouls, and after a timeout, Dave Fosher keeps him in the game.
That was poetry in motion by Keith Speed. He may be a little bit gassed, but he's still able to jump about 3 feet in the air and launch. Poitras has the advantage.
Got to take it, yep. That's
Tom
a good job.
Poitras.
That's a good job by Hickson. Doesn't want to get caught with the foul. It's a useless foul. Poitras is going to go to the line or hit 2 right there anyway. So he just basically got out of the way after Poitras had a full head of steam.
So they concede the lay-in to Poitras, and it's again.
If it's late in the game, you don't concede it. But at that point in time, no need to get a stupid foul.
Oh, it's the Cosby show again.
I'll tell you, they are shooting the ball very well in this little stretch. Right after Riv tied it. 3 outside shots, and they've got themselves a 5-point lead.
Nelson has it, thinks about it, puts it down. What a wild drive to the basket that nearly went by Will Snyder. The miss picked up by Daniel Webster. Keith Speed behind the back. Hickson driving is fouled. Wasn't able to get it above the rim, but he was fouled.
I'm interested to see the foul is if it's Poitras, because he was trying to stand his ground, hoping to draw a charge.
I think he called it on Will Snyder, number 21. I'm not sure about that. Now they called it on number 32. Aiden Collins?
Called it on.
No, he's on.
They called it on Poitras?
I was looking at 32 up on the scoreboard. They did call it on Poitras?
Poitras' first foul, according to the board.
By the way, Ken Belbin, sports information extraordinaire from Daniel Webster, tells us that those 2 technicals that Rivier got in the first half, they don't count as personal fouls.
No, Nelson and
Nelson, who's got the
Garen
ball now.
Whitney.
Right. Nelson trailing by 5. Rivier
almost through the first half of the second half. 12:25 to play in the game.
Will Snyder holding the ball above his head, feeds Nelson. Quick pass into the corner. Deflected pass out front. Cosby got a hand on it. Speed stole it. Keith Speed feeds it under Suarez. Blocked by Poitras.
Poitras, the biggest defensive play of the game thus far.
Garen Whitney is fouled, and it doesn't go.
But he'll go to the line and shoot 2 as a blocking foul is called. What a play by Poitras.
You just walked into the gym. You wouldn't guess that Rivier is trailing by 5. They got a lot of talent on the court, Tom. But so does Daniel Webster.
Now, Daniel Webster's shooting better, John. That's one of the reasons why they're out. That's the key here.
Yeah.
It's a shooter, the old saying, shooter's league. It's a shooter's game.
A couple of threes by Cosby, 3 by Speed. That's 9 points I can think of right there from just beautiful shooting. And now Whitney misses a free throw, which won't help the cause, trailing by 5. 47-42. 12 minutes and change to go in the game. Intracity rivals playing for the first time in a long time. Daniel Webster in red and Rivier in white. Out of bounds off of Rivier. And the Eagles will inbound it. Chance to expand on their 5-point lead, 47-42. Daniel Webster with the ball and with a lot of fans that follow them across town to come to the Rivier gym and root their team on tonight. Bounce pass, Suarez holding it. Watching some traffic pass by. Gets it back, being guarded by Poitras. Keith Speed trying to go work on his counterpart. Ryan Troy, and it goes. So it is a 7-point lead, biggest of the evening for Daniel Webster as Keith Speed captains the offense to another 2 points. Brian Troy up top, Jake Nelson in and out.
Now all of a sudden Daniel Webster Speed with that layup there, controlling this ball game now, opening up a 7-point lead, largest of the game.
And it's a double whammy that three-pointer by Nelson didn't fall, because then Garen Whitney got called for the foul for going over the back, trying to get a heroic rebound. Cosby, look at this crisscross bounce passing by Daniel
This
Webster.
could be big. Oh, it drains it. My goodness.
Dave Schindewolf puts a dagger, an early dagger, into Rivier to make it a double-digit lead for the first time this evening. This had been a seesaw battle, a back-and-forth game until now. 52-42, Daniel Webster with their biggest lead of the evening, 10 points, and now that's a cause for concern with Dave Morissette. In his 14th season as the Rivier College men's basketball coach, wants to talk things over with his squad.
It's been a run for Daniel Webster.
A couple of misses by Rivier and a couple of big hits, including that last one.
It's an 8-0 run. I believe it was 44-42, and then all of a sudden an 8-0 run.
Right. Rivier actually had a good chance to tie it up. Daniel Webster pulling away a bit. 11:07 remaining in the game. Rivier basketball facing a 10-point deficit at the moment. Manny Smith passes it to Brian Troy. Now with it, Jake Nelson. Manny Smith into the corner. Garen Whitney holds it. Brian Troy back out top of the key, around the other side to Manny Smith. Whitney thinks about it. Smith off a pick. Nelson's going to try to make it to the basket. And it must have went off of Schindewolf out of bounds. So Daniel Webster's going to maintain possession, or is that what are they calling over there?
Yeah, it trickled off an Eagle play, I believe.
Okay, 10:42 left in
Rivier
the game.
Rivier trying to call, with Brian Troy inbounding, trying to call a play. Daniel Webster trying to set their defense, and Dave Fosher wants to know exactly what's going on over here to make sure there was no foul call.
Brian Troy's going to inbound it.
Speed is still in this game.
From way downtown.
That was an NBA three right there. And he gets his rebound. Whitney does. He follows it up. Nelson now double team. Nelson and Speed. It's a great battle.
Nelson.
Now Speed gives it up as they switch in the zone with Hickson out on Nelson.
You know, Nelson has a lot of speed, but this is the first time he's been able to physically look at it.
I think Nelson's a little tired.
There's a long shot by Troy. It doesn't go, but Nelson in the right spot. Off the glass, too strong. Loose ball, fought for, on the floor. Keeps Speed out of three people. Has a collision by Daniel Webster over here. Hopefully Nelson's not hurt. He's right next to us as he nearly crashed into the announcer's table.
He is still on the ground.
You know, he hit on his right elbow shoulder area, Tom. He's so close to us here. I couldn't see how he hit.
He's in pain.
Wincing.
Yep, wincing on his left shoulder.
Jake Nelson. Keith Speed just ran out of there like a surfer coming through a wave tunnel, and he left three Rivier players behind him, and two of them collided. Unfortunately, Jake Nelson got the worst of it. And while Daniel Webster went down court with the ball, we have an injury timeout on the court right next to us. Jake Nelson is being helped to his feet. And I dare say he'll probably be back into this game at some point. We're a tick under 10 minutes to go. 9:59 remaining in the game. Barring overtime, of course. And Rivier would like to see that. They're trailing by 10. It's going to take a run. It's going to take a comeback by the Raiders to get into this one.
This is the thing. Is Nelson is going to go full steam, and these types of injuries are going to happen. They're going to have to ice that shoulder. try to get him some motion. He'll be sore tomorrow. I'll be interested to see if he goes back in the game.
Keith Speed, who came into the game with a
leaving points on the floor.
An 82% free throw shooter. This is that first one. They'll try again. And he hits, oh, it's in and out. Misses them both, but they get the rebound.
What a rebound right there. Sliding in Schindewolf. He's played a great game.
Suarez being marked by Poitras. Keith Speed. Troy's trying to keep up. Speed puts the brakes on and throws a three in and out. Again, rebound Daniel Webster. And that one is not going to go either. Schindewolf gets called over the top. No, he just knocked it out of bounds.
And how many points did Daniel Webster leave on the floor over here?
6.
2 missed free throws, 2 missed shots, 2 offensive rebounds, all for naught.
10.
All for naught. I know.
Wow, you're right. Too many offensive touches for Daniel Rivier's liking, I am sure. 9.5 minutes left in this one. Played at a furious pace from start to this point. Brian Troy with it. Cliff Celestine goes to the left, gets it back to Troy, tries to find a lane, and he gets it stripped. Down court comes Schindewolf. A 2-on-2, Speed is fouled. Celestine helps up his opponent. Now a chance to expand on their 10-point lead. The Eagles, Keith Speed, will go to the line.
Yeah, but you know what, John?
Actually, no, excuse me. That was not Keith Speed. That was number 3.
Look at out there on Rivier and everybody. There's really without Nelson out there, there's no floor leadership for them. They all have that bewildered look on their face. Now, Poitras tried to rally the troops and clap, but really wasn't really, that convincing. They need a veteran presence on the floor. Someone who can guide them and run the floor. That's the one thing they lack is some leadership, floor leadership.
Kevin Gates was the player that was fouled as he drove to the basket as Speed takes a breather on the bench. Gates hits 1 of 2 and gives his
It's about time Speed took a breather.
Yeah.
My goodness. Playing with 3 fouls and all that. Wow.
Keep your head on a swivel over here. Celestine in the corner. Long pass to Manny Smith. Inside and back out from Poitras. Poitras has been guarded very tightly by Suarez. Losing the handle in traffic was Aquino, and down court, Gates feeds it outside. Shot on the foul as he goes up with it was Justin Lewandowski will go to the line. 11-point lead for Daniel Webster, and Rivier just struggling, Tom, to solve the scoring drought. You called it back at 44-42. They haven't scored since. And now this is threatening to be a 12 or 13
But look at the look on their faces. They're really bewildered. They don't have any. They're trying to figure out how did this happen.
8:33 left. Substitutions for Rivier into the game.
The senior Will Snyder. Maybe he can help stem the tide and give a little bit of experience.
I think Poitras needs more touches.
Nelson with a wrap on that shoulder. I don't think Nelson's going to be back in this game.
That's Celestine and Will Snyder playing cross-court catch, and they do it again. Inside, Snyder has an open 3.
Yeah, he's got to take it.
Doesn't go. I don't know if he was fully committed to that.
But I think you've got to take that shot.
Runner blocked by Aquino. Aquino's going to get the jump ball with Suarez. Nice battle.
And the arrow,
nobody gets hurt.
I can't tell where the arrow goes. You know why? The arrow's in front of us.
Yeah, it is. Eric Suarez.
It's at our table. Why that is, I don't know. Why isn't the arrow at the scorer's table? .56 to play in the basketball game.
Barely staying in bounds right next to us is Cliff Celestine. Aquino, the runner, is long, and Daniel Webster with the basketball, and the scoring drought continues for the Raiders. Eagles ball, leading by 12 with 7.5 minutes remaining. Well, statistically, Tom, it's got to swing back the other way at some point for Rivier. Daniel Webster looking for that open shot. Gates baseline, gives it up and has it stolen away. Aquino against Schindewolf, put back.
Fortress gets up there. That's what he's supposed to do. And that ends the drought of about 5 minutes without a point.
It's still a 10-point game, but at least Rivier has gotten back on the scoreboard. 54-44. Kevin Gates, sophomore out of Chicago, to Justin Lewandowski. David Schindewolf is also a New Jersey native. He feeds it to Suarez, is running no good.
The Eagles who can't seem to buy a field goal.
Yeah.
Suarez has missed a couple.
Will Snyder with it.
He's had some good looks. That was a good hook shot that he took. High percentage shot that went off the back of the rim. And there you go. Now Rivier right back in it.
Celestin, the junior guard from Boston, with a big three.
That's a good timeout by Dave Fosher.
He sensed the momentum swing on that Celestin three, and it's 54-47. It is a 7-point game. Big difference from an 11 or 12-point game. With 6:24 remaining, Rivier still has a chance to get back into this basketball game. And as Tom said, as we look over at the Rivier bench, I do believe you're right about that shoulder wrap on Jake Nelson, the Nashua native.
I don't
unlikely to come back.
And I don't think you're going to see him come in. And that's going to bother Dave Morrison a little bit that he gets hurt in a non-conference game. So, but it's a,
and a backcourt scramble for a loose ball.
A loose ball in a game where they're all, both teams going 100%. Definitely the rivalry is on the floor. There's no doubt about it. You've also got a security presence here too.
It was a shooting
and I think
shoulder.
you need it because you've got some some pretty rowdy fans here. But that's good to see. But right now, Rivier, if they're going to come back in this game, they've got to do it on the defensive end. They don't have their inspirational leader out there in Nelson. Got the wrap on the shoulder. Probably not going to come back in the game. Sitting at the end of the bench. 6:24 left to play in the ball game. That could go by in a hurry in college basketball until you hit the last couple minutes where it's a free throw shooting contest.
This game is going by at 100 miles an hour. It's a furious pace that it's been played at, and we're expecting a close finish, but you never know if Daniel Webster continues to get their brilliant offensive play from Keith Speed.
Right off the bench.
There's team speed, and then there's Keith Speed.
Yep.
And he's showing it off tonight. 56-47, a 9-point lead for the Eagles.
Yeah, big bucket by Speed.
Long cross-court pass. Selston's going to launch, and he misses. Poitras working hard off the glass and in. Tom Poitras.
Yep.
Keeping it close.
Yep.
56-49.
He did the job because not boxing out was Aiden Collins.
Will Snyder playing defense against Speed, or trying to. Speed's going to launch. He's open for the moment.
Got it.
And he buries it. 59-49, 10-point lead. You writing this one up?
Just taking notes. Just taking notes.
So you don't have to do an article on
Keith Speed.
Is that? I was going to say your head could be too much speed if this continues.
This is it.
That could be your one-line opening there.
Well, I want to ask after the game, we talked to Speed about what were you guys feeling going into this game? You hadn't played them, and most of these guys weren't on the roster the last time they played them. Same with Rivier. So was this a rivalry for you? Is there that much interaction between these student bodies? Why did your school have so many more kids over here than the host school? These are things I want to know from the Daniel Webster players after the game. Those are the things you can ask when you do the interviews. 5:29 to play in the ball game. Tom King along with John Collins here for Nashua's ETV.
Can Rivier make it a game again? Trailing by 10. Will Snyder, cross court, Celestin. That seems like a dangerous pass with all that speed on the court, but they've been connecting all game with it.
Yeah, you're waiting for a steal and an easy layup.
Snyder. Garen Whitney passes up the three, barely keeping it in bounds with Celestin. The runner, he's fouled as he goes up with it, is Will Snyder, and he will go to the line, a shooting foul. Trailing by 10, these free throws are key free throws. Just under 5 minutes left in the game in regulation.
Well, that's just it. Daniel Webster's going to have to get the free throw shooters in the game in the next couple of minutes. It's 4:57 to go, 10-point game, and you know, it will come down to whether or not they're able to hit their free throws.
Snyder unable to hit that one. The try for the second.
There was a whistle right before the ball went in the basket. Somebody did a lane violation, and it looks like it was Garen Whitney, from Dave Morissette's words to Whitney.
Yeah,
and
lane
Whitney's
violation.
lane violation. Whitney's going, wasn't me. But evidently it was called, so the point's off, and it's 59-49 with 5 to play. Just under 5 to play.
Cosby. Darius Cosby.
It's going to take a lot.
lead.
It's going to take a lot to change the tenor of this game. That 12-point lead, because of the way Rivier has been slowed down and just looks on the floor like they don't have an idea of what they need to do. Just because of that, that 12-point lead feels like 22.
And no Jake Nelson, who's out of the game with a shoulder injury, suffered here in the second half. One of the key players for the Raiders on ice. Chris Foley from Oakham, Massachusetts. 6'4" forward, hits them both. So it again is a 10-point game. It is not out of the question, especially as Tom said, as we get into free throw time, that Riv could possibly get back into this, but they've had a little too much speed. The man with the ball right now, Keith Speed, to be specific. Steal, Poitras, exploding out of the underneath, and in.
And a foul.
Tom Poitras takes Keith Speed to school on that one, and it's 61-53 with a chance for a three-point play.
And suddenly you're here for the Raider fans.
Tom Poitras with a beautiful job of anticipation and a steal, takes it the length of the court, goes off the glass and in, and a burst of inspiration when his team needed it most. Gets it back to a 7-point game. 4:10 or 4:15 left in this one, and Keith Speed, who did not agree with that call at all, by the way, taking it up court.
Oh, he was fouled. There's no doubt about it.
I think so. Speed with it, being marked by Snyder. Backs it out. You can't leave him alone for a second. He's a great shooter.
Oh, big shot here.
Front rimming it is
I don't know if I would have wanted that shot. It's great if it goes in. Took it right in front of the coach, too.
Yeah. You got a good look.
This could cut the lead to as few as 4 if they hit a 3, 5 if they go to 2.
Celestin baseline underneath and no good. Ball kept in. Good heads-up play by Cosby. Down court Speed trying to take Poitras to the hoop. Off the glass. And coming away with it is Rivier's Garen Whitney. Bounce pass. Off the glass and in by Chris Foley. And it is now a 5-point lead, and we've got a ball game again.
Oh, do we ever.
3:20 remaining in regulation. Rivier with a burst of baskets and inspiration for their home court crowd, making a 61-56 game. And the Rivier and Daniel Webster crowd's going at it a little bit.
I know. Now I know where the Rivier students are. They're over in that corner over there.
There they are.
Yep.
3:20 remaining as the gymnasium here at Rivier College in Nashua takes it up.
It may come down.
Decibels.
It may come down to the foul line, John. It may come down to the free throw line.
I think you're being caught tweeting on the jaw. No. Mike Jane's on camera, and also Tim O'Neill. Hey, you got to be a multimedia person in this day and age. That's the reality for us. 61-56, Rivier trailing, but with the momentum as they come back on the court after that timeout. At the pace of this game, that timeout felt like 10 minutes. Keith Speed walks it up court, being marked by Will Snyder. Darius Cosby to Eric Suarez, holding the ball. Poitras backs off. Speed being marked closely by Snyder. They switch off. Whitney had him for a second. Now Poitras comes out. Ball's loose. Backcourt. We had the best look at it, other than Rich Napolitano, the referee who was right on the line to call it accurately. His shoe touched the line. Darius Cosby couldn't keep it from being a backcourt violation, and Will Snyder with it now. Swings it over to Cliff Celestin, who's double-teamed. He bounces it across court to Snyder. 2:50 remaining in the game. Rivier trailing by 5. Three-point attempt is no good by Celestin. And coming out of it was Chris Foley, and they're going to call it
on the baseline.
Are they going to say that he kicked it and it's a delayed call?
Well, one thing they've got to do is they've got to get the fans over here that are walking. They've got to get them to sit down and stay in the stands.
What's up? No, it's just the inbound play by Rivier.
Yeah, why? That ball was in play. Why did they stop it?
I have no idea on that one. Will Snyder swings it across court to Cliff
This
Celestin.
is all being done without Nelson, who's over there still trying to get his arm raised to see if he can come back in the game.
Trailing by 5. Rivier needs a basket. 2.5 minutes left to go. Off the side of the board, and it's Eagles ball. Keith Speed, a chance to put an early dagger into Rivier if the Raiders can come up. I mean, the Eagles can come up with a basket here.
Tough miss by Snyder.
Yeah. Steal.
Picked off by Snyder.
Intended for Speed underneath the basket.
Dave Bosher beside himself. 2 turnovers and a costly.
Cliff Celestin with a tough runner doesn't go, and Chris Foley gets mugged.
Traveled.
Oh,
traveling.
That's a tough call. There was a lot of people that had a fistful of jersey, but Foley gets called for the travel. The Eagles are walking it down court because Keith Speed knows the time is on their side right now, leading by 5, 61-56. Schindewolf swings it over to Hickson. Hickson dribbling top of the key, stops, pops, misses. Suarez fighting for the rebound.
And he elbowed, he traveled. He actually got away with an elbow, but they're going to call him for a travel. What Suarez should have done probably is call timeout. Yeah. 1:42 to play. No one scored in a while.
That big rebound.
No one has scored in the last 2 minutes of the game. 3:20 was the last basket. That was by Foley.
Rivier trailing by 5 with the basketball and 1:42 remaining.
And 3 straight turnovers to the Eagles down the floor.
As they try to figure out what to do here, Garen Whitney will inbound it. Will Snyder might want to bring it down a little bit faster than that, but it's a big basket here, let's face it. They need to make a dent in that 5-point lead with a minute and a half left. Poitras driving, fouled, and it goes.
On Poitras.
Oh, it's offensive?
Offensive foul on Poitras.
He does not argue. He must have tried to clear out.
Yeah, he did.
1:29 left. The Eagles Tough defense pays off. Leading by 5, a chance to put the game away with a basket or 2.
Well, I thought you were going to catch that pass.
Keith Speed, it was intended for him, hopefully.
Well, I think Speed should have slowed it down, but he banks it in.
He has only one speed when he gets close to the hoop, and that's top speed.
And that might do it. That's a 7-point lead with 1:22 to play, and now it's down to 113.
Celestin wants a 3. Garen Whitney gets the long rebound. He's thinking about launching it. Snyder's going to try for a 3.
Oh,
makes it. Will Snyder, 3-pointer, makes it a 4-point game. 63-59 with a tick, a half a tick, under a minute to go. 59.5 seconds. Will Snyder with a 3-pointer to make it a 4-point game. The closeness won't go away. Just when you thought it might be a 10-point, 12-point runaway lead for Daniel Webster College, Rivier finds their way back into it. That was
amazing
a key rebound
game.
there
It
by
was.
Garen Whitney.
By Whitney. Whitney's played a good second half.
Whitney hit a couple of rainbow threes earlier, but he passed it up to give it to Snyder, who hit. It's a team game, and sometimes you find the hot hand. Exactly 1 minute remaining in the game. In regulation, that is. Daniel Webster to inbound it. Keith Speed with it. Being marked by Whitney and by Manny Smith. Puts the brakes on. Bounce pass ahead. Getting it back was Hickson. Underneath, stolen by Celestin. He's going to bring it down court. Feeds Whitney for the open 3. Hits! Garen Whitney, it's a 1-point game. That one.
Wow!
Brought the Rivier crowd through the roof.
He just stood, shot, and time froze. Time froze.
Garen Whitney could not have shot that one any more true if he stood on top of the backboard and dropped it. I was talking about that rainbow 3 that he passed up a few seconds ago. He was wide open and took advantage.
Just
Whitney,
amazing.
6'6" forward from Dover, electrifies the home Rivier crowd. It's a 1-point game, folks, with 42 seconds left. That's got to be a bit disheartening for the Eagles, who dominated most of the second half. The Eagles still have a chance to put the game away, though, if they get a couple of baskets here with the talented Keith Speed manning the offense. Darius Cosby. Speed outruns Garen Whitney, the defender, trying to stay with him, working on Snyder. Wide open, he thought about it. Cosby. Show. Darius Cosby. It's a 4-point lead for Daniel Webster.
22 seconds left. It brings the crowd to their feet, and that may do it.
A deflected shot. It was a clean block. Will Snyder, a desperation steal attempt, commits the foul.
Well, I'll tell you what, these Daniel Webster kids are really into this game.
They sure are.
Wow.
Too much.
I know. No
They're almost
kidding.
on the court into the game.
They're almost going to trample us, jump over
I
us.
know.
What a big shot by Cosby, though. 66-62. And now Hickson with a chance to bury it.
Rebound, Poitras, 10 seconds to go. Down court comes Snyder. 3-point attempt is good. 4 seconds left, timeout. It's a 1-point game.
I want to hear that.
Oh.
I want to hear that good from you one more time.
It was about 60-40 disbelief in there.
Remember what I told you about the speed of the game, Joe?
Oh. You were right. All you need to do is hit his free throws.
That's it.
6 seconds later, it's a 1-point game again.
Right.
Tom Poitras just almost looked like the most surprised person in the building. The ball front rim, skinned down until it hit the big man. Didn't even need to jump. It came about knee high. He grabbed it, and he ran down court. And Snyder, a difficult runner. I mean, you got momentum going toward the three-point line. You got to corral that, and you got to control your shooting touch and still hit. And Will Snyder, a huge basket. Now, this is a situation where obviously Rivier's going to foul as soon as they inbound, right? 4 seconds remaining. The inbound is a whistle before. Well, that's a foul before the inbound, so no time at all comes off the clock.
None.
4.3 seconds left. There was a foul before the inbounds, and this is a situation where if you hit both, you still have a chance, does Rivier, to come down and shoot a three, even if at the free throw line, Dave Schindewolf hits both of these. Now, is this a situation where you tell your player ideally to hit the first one and miss the second one?
No, you want him to hit both shots.
All right, let's see what Dave Schindewolf can do.
Because don't forget, John, they don't get the ball at half court after the timeout. If Riv calls time, if they have any left, they don't get the ball at half court. It's not the NBA. They've got to take it from the bottom, from right under the basket.
They have no timeouts left, according to the scoreboard.
Okay, so that'll do it then. He hits this. It's going to be a desperation heave. And where have we seen those guys before?
In Nashua.
And he misses it.
Here it comes. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Garrett Whitney's going to take the shot.
buzzer.
Oh! How close was that?
Oh, my.
Garrett Whitney. Inches away from setting a new decibel record at Rivier College. The game was as close as that shot. We hoped there was going to be a terrific basketball game. It was even better than we had hoped.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
Wow, Garrett Whitney, who is a guy that Rivier would want to take that shot.
No doubt about it.
Great look. He was far away, but he'd taken some by choice at that distance earlier in the game from Railroad Square distance. And Daniel Webster College comes out of here by the skin of the front of the basketball hoop with a win. It's a rowdy crowd, and for good reason. Hopefully they'll stay peaceful as they file out of here. But
it was online. It was online, it just didn't have it.
It was right online. It just needed another inch or two momentum to push it over the rim.
Just incredible. The drama through this game. Daniel Webster hangs on. Speed with that big bank shot on the layup earlier during the run, but Cosby with the jumper nails it, gives him the lead, and that basically buys them a little bit of breathing room that Riv always had to play catch-up. That shot by Cosby made it 66-62 with 22 seconds left. It was the biggest bucket of the game for Daniel Webster, and it was really the reason why they won this basketball game.
And, I can't help my mind flash back to the first half. Technicals, Tom. There were 2 technical fouls. Well, it's 2 technicals, you get to shoot 2 each. They only made 2 points, but 2 points.
2 points, the difference in the ball game.
Unfortunately, that's going way back. It's ancient history as far as this fast-paced game was going, but it is 2 points that would have swung the game the other way. 67-65. These two teams
67-65.
These two teams should meet more often.
The rivalry is back. No question about it. I just hope my car's still there when we go to it afterwards, and nobody turned it over or something.
Well,
like
I parked
that,
so far away. I hope. You're right. I hope it didn't get towed as an illegal space.
Towed? I don't want this. I don't want it to be set on fire.
I was getting greedy as far as decibel levels in here. I really was curious about how crazy it would have got if that shot by Whitney went down.
If that shot by Whitney had gone down, this would have been one of the more memorable games of this rivalry.
Might have been structural damage.
Could have been.
From the noise.
But
so
the rivalry is back. This game definitely meant something to somebody, and it was good to see.
Well, I want to thank you all for watching Nashua's ETV broadcast of this Daniel Webster victory over Rivier College at Rivier, 67-65. I'm John Collins for Tom King, thanking our able camera crew behind this lens right here, Mike Janes, and also Tim O'Neill. Terrific game, and we're looking forward to the next one, Tom.
Yep, we are. Great ball game.
Welcome back to the court. Post-game, 67-65 Daniel Webster victory with Coach Dave Fauscher. And Dave, welcome back to the rivalry.
Oh, thanks. I guess it's back, huh?
Yeah, you can tell by your voice, of course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We hoped for a terrific game, and you gave us even better than that. Maybe too terrific for your liking. You had a 10-point lead there for a while.
Yeah, we made some mistakes down the stretch, but you have to give them credit. They never went away. They stayed positive with each other. You know, it was a hard-fought game. It's one of those games where, you know, Dave's such a good friend, and I really respect the program that somebody had to lose. Both teams fought hard, and obviously both teams had a tremendous will to win. So we're happy with the outcome. We've been struggling closing games. It almost hit us again tonight, but hopefully we can grow and learn from this.
You have so many talented players. I don't know where to start to ask you about, but you know, one of the things that besides the great team speed that both teams had, you have a lot of scoring touch on your team. A lot of guys that can put it in.
We try to have a diversified attack. We try to share the ball and get everybody involved. Also, we shoot it pretty well, and shooting covers a multitude of sins. I appreciate your comment about the teams and their speed because, I mean, the community should realize it's a pretty high level of basketball. It's like it was a good, fun college game with a great college atmosphere.
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, you guys get up and down the court, but the well, I was calling it the Cosby Show, but he was just one of the guys who can shoot a great three. And Keith Speed's another one.
He hit a big one coming out of the timeout, and we're up one. You know, that was a big one. And we actually were trying to set a drive up for him, and his man was a little off him, and he said, "No, I'm going to pull it," and he did. And then he hit another one. So yeah, he had a nice second half for us.
Well, we wish you the best in the season. I know you got off to a slow start, but this definitely was a huge win for you.
Yeah, it's a long year. Both teams have to keep working, keep improving, and see what happens.
And the fans need to come out because the idea that you guys are playing at this level, of this intensity, and that there's not enough fans in the stands, that's a shame.
I appreciated the effort of both teams. It was fun game to be a part of, and I couldn't agree more. Division III is a high level of basketball, and it's very, very competitive.
Well, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to doing another game, Dave.
You're welcome in our gym anytime.
Oh, thank you. Dave Fauscher, the head coach of Daniel Webster College basketball. Welcome back with Keith Speed, the junior guard for Daniel Webster, correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, thanks for being one of the main ingredients in a terrific basketball game. That was awesome.
That was a pretty intense game. It went down to the wire.
You don't even look tired, man. You were like out there the whole time.
I'm tired. Trust me, I'm tired.
We were talking about you got to be gassed because you're going up and down. I mean, the few times you walked the ball up, but you know, you still, no matter how tired you looked, you're still able to elevate and hit those threes and move your offense.
Well, they're a good team. They kept pushing us. They kept bringing the ball, bringing it at us. They never gave up, but we wanted it more. It was a big rivalry game.
How close was that last shot to going in?
I'm happy.
Garen Whitney.
Oh, it was very close. Yeah. Very, an inch higher. It was swish.
Yeah, and you must love being able to dish the ball to so many talented players. I mean, Darius Cosby, Eric Suarez, the whole team is like you guys got so many weapons.
We have a lot of weapons. We have a lot of good shooters. Darius, Justin, John Hickson, Eric in the middle. And we just had our first win, so it was about time we pulled it together as a team and got the W.
Did you hear the crowd at all, Keith?
Yeah.
You did. You were aware of it? Because, like, you know, good athletes, they block it out. But it sounded like, to me, that's like pretty noisy for a college game at any level.
I love the crowd. The more louder, the better. The more louder, the better.
Well, congratulations on a terrific game, and we look forward to doing some more games with you.
Thanks.
Yeah, Keith Speed, star of the game for Daniel Webster College, who win 67-65 over Rivier. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on Nashua's ETU.